hey, teach our kids, let's do this.
And we need to get with the parents and talk with the parents about what that as a teacher, they expect our kids to, how they expect to act. I mean, parent-teacher conference, well, my parents never went to them, but I'll be honest, I went to my kids. But there's got to be a good dialogue between parents and teachers about what is expected.
One of the things that we have seen is that the breakdown of communication has not been between the parents and the teachers. I will give credit to the teachers of Albany County Schools. They have been very forthcoming in reaching out to the parents and communicating. The administration and the school board is where the communication breakdown is largely occurring. And it is the school board and the superintendent that set the vision and the goals and the mission of the district. And under the past superintendent, who works at the discretion of the board, it has been a difficult relationship. COVID, of course, has caused some problems, but they continue to keep blaming COVID for everything. These problems were occurring long before COVID. We do have a new superintendent, and I am cautiously optimistic with the direction the new superintendent is going. He has indicated a willingness to work with us. We have met him, and I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing so far, where he's taking the district. And so I think that our new superintendent is going to be reaching out to all of the communities. Previous superintendents wouldn't even allow the board to go to the schools. And you would ask yourself, why are we being prohibited from visiting the schools? There is a disconnect between the board and the schools. There is a disconnect between the board and the parents, because the current board is very happy to rest on their laurels as they continue to push a very progressive agenda through. And so we're not looking at a top to bottom change. We simply want to see the parents recognized as important teachers in the equation, free those teachers up to focus on education and not have to be worrying about all of the other distractions, and that's where we're headed with it. Brandon, you've had your hand up for quite a while.
First off, you didn't know
I had no idea.
I teach at Wild Tech, so
okay.
I teach these skills that you guys hit on.
He's also running for city council.
Yeah.
So, two-part question. First part would be, we're about the second poorest county in Wyoming, something like that. How would you bring these trades to the high schools? Second part is, how would you go about giving teachers the freedom to teach? Because I have that, and it is fantastic. Nobody tells me day to day what I need to teach.
So one of the biggest problems that teachers have right now is professional development. They don't have any. They've got professional development people in schools that are not helping their teachers, and that's a common complaint by a lot of teachers. And we don't have any professional development. Nobody's helping us to teach these kids. Nobody's helping us how to manage. The biggest problem our teachers have is crowd control. They don't have any say. What we need to do is get the principals involved and say, when there's a problem in the classroom, it comes to the principal. Now the principal's hands are tied, but it's him to deal with it. Should be dealing with the parents, take the problem out of the classroom so that the teachers can teach.
And on the budget thing, how do you bring the
Okay,
trades?
so we do have we are the second poorest county in the state. We always have been. And the reason is our top 5 employers in the city are all tax exempt, but that's another issue.
Yeah, and then another.
But we can bring in, we can encourage trades to come in and make them these kids can go from the high school to these trade schools and attend school. It could be part of their high school program. And these companies that come in and do these trade schools, they can make a business out of it, obviously, and make money at it. And the kids can get an education, and the school board, school system is not responsible for how that's managed.
My son did that. he was in high school taking college courses in aerospace engineering.
There you go.
And he was that close to getting a job at Boeing, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. But integrating trade schools with junior, senior years is very, very good idea. It is something that will benefit kids for a
And the
long time.
community as a whole.
Denver, for years, and I'm talking 50s, 60s, there was, I can't think what the lady's name was, but they have opportunity school. High school, I had a girlfriend that did this, I didn't, because I was supposed to be going to college, which I did drop out. But the kids, if you had your requireds, your English, your math, your history, and you took those 3 in the morning, in the afternoon, you went to opportunity school,
Emily Griffith.
and they went in, my girlfriend became the youngest licensed practical nurse in the state, because she actually graduated in January, even though she had to wait till the end of the year to get her diploma. But she did that because she was able to go to summer school too. And I mean, if we could even set something like that up.
Well, talking about the finances, school funding is a really complex thing, and this is, the more I look at it, I was telling Teri Jo, it is just layers upon layers of complexity, and there's some issues with the budgets that really does require a top-to-bottom review, and we need to take a look at it, and that's where some of these folks with the background in accounting and financing can really give that a good review. But Albany County being one of the poorer communities, there is a distribution of funds throughout the state to try to make sure that all of the counties have comparable amounts of funding available. Currently, the Wyoming Education Association has initiated a suit against the legislature, saying that the legislature is underfunding the schools. Wyoming, depending on which reports you look at, show that we have either the 8th or the 2nd highest per pupil expenditure in the nation. And our proficiency rates are in the bottom half. You know, for me, I'm looking at that and thinking it isn't about the amount of money that you throw at it. Where's the return on my investment? And so it isn't about the money that you throw at the situation, it's what you do with the money. Perhaps we need fewer instructional facilitators and more paras, more teachers, and let the teachers be teaching. The other part of your question was about
The budget and how could you let teachers just teach?
well,
Like I can.
we need to get a little bit more autonomy. But the thing about, but the thing is we do have some good partnerships in Albany County, and that is through their career and technical education program. They do have some partnerships with the School of Nursing to increase the opportunities for the kids to be getting training in nursing. I'm not sure if they've moved to a CNA program. I would love to see them include a phlebotomy course through that. We've got the culinary arts. We have some great programs there that just need to be grown, and they are recognizing it because a partnership with UW, which that's a double-edged sword with UW, but UW has actually started to do some programs with the high school where they are bringing in people from UW to work and train in schools for basically no cost, because it's a training ground for UW students, and then the students in the Laramie schools are benefiting from the additional teachers. Brandon mentioned WyoTech, and Jim Mathis is an employer in the community and has been a great recruiter for our students to bring them into WyoTech. We do have community employers who have partnered with Laramie High to have internship programs. There are some out there. They're rather limited now, but I think that there is a demand to expand those, because every tradesman that I talk to is desperate for help. They would love to be bringing in apprentices And so that is something I think we need to investigate and expand.
Yeah, Amber's been waiting a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, I just wanted to add on that, because I know out here a couple of years ago, we had a student that apprenticed, like, he took his general classes in the morning, and then in the afternoon, he apprenticed with a welding shop, and so, which is what he wanted to do, and then he went to trade school for that. But, so that is possible out here, correct? Okay, so we can, I don't know, I think apprenticeship would be a better.
So I would like to look at the budget because it was brought to my attention during COVID, tons of money was spent on all this crap. And they're still sitting in boxes in the storage and never been opened and used. Of course. So we spent money on what? And on our kids?
Yep.
So that's one of the things I want to do is because I have the understanding of numbers. I want to know where the money's going to. Why do we supposedly have all this money,
It's
but
supposed
we
to be
can't pay our
transparent.
freaking teachers?
It's supposed to be transparent, disclosed to us on what they're spending it on, but
But
they're
it's
not.
not.
They're not.
Okay, apparently, I just found this out. The bills that get paid every month get listed in the Laramie Boomerang, but you can't find it on the website. You can't find it
It's
anywhere.
because no one looks at the paper.
You also can't find the budget. You can't
even wrap
see,
fish in that thing.
you can't see it's called the budget versus actual, where you see the ongoing expenditures and where it's going. You can't find that anywhere. The state is 5 years behind on auditing the schools. They found money 5 years ago. It was
600, 500 or 600?
no, it was 160,000. Well, then magically, as they were creating the budget this year, they found 600,000 to give the step up for the teachers. So my question is, how do we not know where our money's going and we're finding this money all of a sudden when the auditors do the audit, but the state being 5 years behind? I'm sorry, that's not okay.
I'd like to see the path from my pocket to where it gets spent.
Yep,
That's the
I
way
agree.
it's supposed to be.
I agree,
It's our
100%.
responsibility to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money.
It is.
Because I'm a taxpayer too.
Yeah.
So it's my money as well.
Let's go, Brad.
It's over there. That's okay. I wanted to comment, I already talked about trades and working with businesses. Look at the Wyoming Workforce Centers, the employment offices.
Yeah.
They have monies for students if they meet certain criteria for tools, training, quite a few other things. When I was the veterans rep, I got a young man probably $300–400 worth of tools in Laramie, so drove down, put state money back into the economy, got him his tools so he could be an electrical apprentice.
That's super. We have a really good arrangement with LCCC just across the street from the high school. And so there's a great cross-pollination between LCCC and Laramie High students.
And the workforce is right in between, it's sandwiched in
Exactly.
between. So go visit them, if they've got state money, if there's a federal program or state money, get the money for the students.
Elliott?
My comment is that, number one, part of the problem here is that, as mentioned previously, we don't have enough parent participation in the schools. And if you have more parent participation, and I'm not talking PTA because they're a political organization, I'm talking about setting up, going to each school area and saying, look, let's set up a parent, teacher, student organization here so that we can discuss these issues, and maybe we get people like me who want to have an apprenticeship program for maintenance technicians, people that, and what I want to do is I want to set up an internship with business classes. Because one of the facts of life is that people who start a business, okay, only 1 in 5 survive more than a year. Why? Because while they might be really good at welding widgets, they don't know anything about running a business. And
That's where I come in.
yeah, and the thing is that if we intern them at not just my business, but variety of business. And the way the way that we get people to buy into that is through parent interaction with the school. Brandon?
So, when I was in high school, we did that.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like-
not new. I didn't think
It
of
was
this all
like
by
career
myself.
week or something,
Yeah.
where we went out and we went to other
We
businesses.
shadowed, yeah.
I went to a snorkeling business, I had no idea anything about it, but I still went. The same with like the trades things. I am not a 4-year college guy. I'm in college right now and I absolutely hate it. But the trades is what made me graduate high school.
Yeah.
So my first part of the, like before lunch was all like my math and crap. After lunch, I ran an automotive shop for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So my management skills started in high school.
Exactly.
And then we moved that into, Phoebe and I we opened our own business.
And
And I
that's-
ran my own business for a while.
And that's the thing, I'm talking about, from my point of view, I'd like to bring the kids that are in like future business leaders of America. Plug them in, okay, for this week, you're gonna answer the phones and you're gonna talk to people. Learn how to deal with the customers. Second 6 weeks, you're gonna do accounts receivable. Third 6 weeks, you're gonna do accounts payable. Fourth 6 weeks, you're gonna get into operations, okay? And by that time, it's time to go back to class. And what it does for them is that it gives them a thorough understanding of how a